Okay, let's talk about work. You know, that feeling that everything's shifting, maybe. Maybe a little faster than we can keep up. What if your daily tasks, how you collaborate, how you even learn on the job were fundamentally different, fundamentally uh, augmented?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the heart of our deep dive today. We're looking at the near future of the workday, specifically how artificial intelligence isn't just automating things anymore,
Right.
but it's truly like partnering with us.
And this dive, it's built on a whole stack of sources we're pulling from research papers, industry reports, articles, notes, and they all offer a pretty comprehensive look at this transformation.
Our mission really is to take all of that, kind of unpack the core insights, and give you a clearer picture of these key shifts. We want you to understand what they actually mean for your professional life.
Yeah, cutting through the hype.
Exactly. Cutting through the noise to see how AI really changes the practical stuff you do every day.
So think of this as a preview, right? Giving you a look at the tools, the challenges, and yeah, the opportunities that are basically right around the corner.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So first thing, the sources are pretty quick to point out that this future workday it's way more than just automation. It's not AI replacing us, but something else.
Totally. The dominant theme across pretty much all these sources isn't replacement, it's augmentation. It's about creating a collaborative ecosystem
Okay.
where AI doesn't just follow instructions, but actually complements and extends human capabilities. That term, augmented intelligence, comes up quite a bit.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's about combining human smarts with AI strengths, especially when it comes to complex thinking, reasoning, decision-making.
Right. So it's less about a machine doing a preset task, like step 1, step 2,
Yeah.
and more about AI adapting, helping us plan, maybe guiding us through processes, and even like participating in the work with us.
Exactly, participating. And the sources talk about reaching an augmentation threshold.
Yeah, that point where AI isn't just a tool you pull out now and then, but it becomes like intrinsic to how the work actually gets done. It's woven in.
Okay, that makes sense. And understanding this shift, this threshold, why is it so urgent?
Well, several reasons jump out from the sources. First, it's seen as this almost inevitable pervasive force, kind of like electricity or the steam engine back in the day.
Okay.
It's expected to touch every single sector.
And it's moving fast. I mean, companies are adopting AI really quickly. Why is that? Is it just capabilities or?
It's a mix. Definitely new capabilities, cost savings are a big driver. Plus, the tools themselves are just getting easier to access and implement.
Right.
And the potential scale of change is, well, it's huge.
Yeah.
The World Economic Forum, for instance, they predict the skills needed for work could change by as much as 70% by 2030.
70%. That's massive.
It is. And McKinsey uses this phrase. They say generative AI is literally rewiring how organizations function.
Okay, this is fascinating. The sources talk about something they call the preparedness paradox.
Yes.
You'd think organizations would be driving this top down, but actually, it sounds like employees are often ahead of the game. Like they're already using the tools, they get it.
That's exactly what the paradox describes.
Yeah.
You have this bottom-up enthusiasm, employees experimenting, using AI, often pretty comfortable with it. But then you have leadership or just the existing organizational structures kind of lagging behind in adapting strategically.
So it's like grassroots energy hitting a bit of a wall at the top?
Sort of, yeah. Top-down inertia, maybe. Which ultimately points to a redefinition of what work itself even means.
How so?
We're shifting away from just labor as input. The value is moving towards things like creativity, critical judgment, those interpersonal skills, things AI isn't great at. And that has massive implications for education, for job satisfaction, even, our sense of purpose at work.
Okay, so that's the big picture, the framework. Let's zoom in then, day to day. How does AI actually show up in the tasks we do? Sounds like it becomes a pretty constant partner.
It really does seem that way, particularly in how we manage information. AI's power here is just incredible. Processing vast data sets, spotting patterns, generating insights at a speed and scale we just can't match.
Right. Like analyzing market trends, you mean?
Exactly. Or think about AI agents that can just pull info from loads of different places and whip up an initial report draft.
So for us, the humans, that means what? Less grunt work.
Pretty much. Less time on the manual data collection, the processing. People using these tools consistently report, frees them up, lets them focus on the important stuff, the work that adds real value.
Okay.
So the human role, it shifts. It's less about processing, more about interpreting what the AI surfaces, formulating strategies based on it, tackling the really complex problems that need human judgment.
And tools are getting better at this, like making complex analysis easier.
Yeah, they're democratizing access to sophisticated analysis. Things that used to need specialists. Now more people can do it. Generative AI turning raw numbers into charts or summaries almost instantly.
So there's this real cognitive load shift happening. The mental energy we used to burn on, like tedious data entry,
Right.
can now go towards deeper thinking, creativity, strategy.
Exactly. And there's actually research linking AI assistants with those tedious tasks directly to enhanced employee creativity and even positive emotions.
Really. So getting help with the boring stuff literally makes you happier and more creative.
The study suggests so. It's a powerful effect. And it goes beyond just data. It extends to routine admin tasks, too.
Like what? Scheduling? Emails?
Yeah, data entry, complex scheduling, sorting email, generating standard reports, even initial HR stuff like screening resumes or basic onboarding. AI is increasingly taking these on.
Any sense of how much?
Well, some estimates suggest machines can handle over 80% of these really deterministic rule-based tasks. And predictions for automating parts of HR, they go up to 50 or even 75%.
Wow. And this is where agentic AI comes in, right? These systems that can manage whole workflows.
Precisely. Autonomous systems that don't just do a task, but manage a whole process, sometimes even making decisions within set boundaries.
You mean like processing payments or logistics?
Yeah, McKinsey gives examples like that. Processing payments, fraud detection, managing logistics in call centers. Salesforce even has this concept, agent force, like a digital workforce.
Okay, so if the agents are doing the workflow, what's left for us?
That creates what the sources call an agentic workflow imperative. The human job changes. It becomes more about strategic oversight, setting the goals for these agents, defining the rules, the constraints, and importantly, managing the exceptions, stepping in when things go off the rails or need a human touch.
Right. And that requires trust, I guess, trusting the AI.
Absolutely. Trust and new skills for managing these autonomous partners, like ensuring they operate ethically, holding them accountable.
Communication is another huge area, right? AI helping out there too.
Massive shifts there. AI is becoming a crucial assistant. Drafting emails, generating sections of reports, summarizing long meetings, even real-time translation.
I've seen some of those meeting summary tools.
Yeah, tools like MeetGeek or Read.ai, they summarize meetings, pull out action items automatically. Lindy.ai can draft email replies. Microsoft 365 Copilot summarizes long docs or reformats text. It's helping organize inboxes, power better chatbots.
And that makes meetings better if AI handles the notes.
Potentially much more efficient. If AI does the note-taking, the transcription, maybe even identifies key decisions or action items, and some tools support tons of languages for this.
Like fireflies.ai, right?
Exactly. Then the humans in the room can actually focus on the substance of the discussion, the debate, the decision-making, instead of just furiously typing notes.
Okay, so the sources have this phrase, communication, compression, and expansion. What's that about?
It captures the dynamic well. AI compresses the mechanical bits, the drafting, transcribing, basic summarizing. But by freeing up that space, it expands the need for the really nuanced, empathetic, strategic human stuff.
Like negotiation, building consensus.
Precisely. Leadership conversations, things where AI just isn't effective. So the strategic importance of human communication skills actually gets elevated.
Interesting. And AI is also helping us think better, decision support.
Yeah, acting as a genuine cognitive partner. It provides data-driven insights. It can surface a wider range of options than maybe a human would think of alone. It can predict outcomes based on data, offer tailored recommendations.
So it's augmenting our judgment, especially in complex areas, like medicine or engineering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Generative AI, for instance, can model different scenarios, predict outcomes for strategic planning. AI in finance gives you real-time dashboards for faster decisions.
There's this idea about intelligent choice architectures. It sounds fancy.
It is a bit, but the idea is cool. AI creating dynamic ways to present options to us. Maybe personalized, maybe predictive, maybe even nudging us ethically towards better choices, but without taking away our final say.
Like a smart suggestion engine.
Kind of, yeah. Applied to customer support, sales, HR, lots of areas. And this ability to make sophisticated analysis easier points towards a democratization of expertise.
Making expert-level insights available to more people.
Right. More employees could get insights previously locked away with specialists.
Yeah.
But there's always a but.
Yeah.
The risk you mentioned earlier, de-skilling, or becoming overly reliant on the AI if we don't keep our own critical thinking sharp to evaluate its suggestions. We still need to think.
Absolutely. And finally, just thinking about daily interactions, meetings and collaboration are changing too.
Definitely. Meetings can shift focus. If AI is handling the notes and basic info sharing, the human time in the room can be purely for higher value stuff. Strategic decisions, complex problem solving.
Makes sense.
And AI can act like connective tissue, a mediator. It can bridge different systems, give everyone shared access to real-time insights, orchestrate complex tasks across teams by making sure data flows smoothly.
So it connects the dots between tools and people.
Yeah, and generative AI can help teams work together on shared documents or project plans much more dynamically.
Looking at some examples the sources give, like in their tables,
Yeah.
market research, AI crunches the data, human sets the strategy.
That's a great example. Or AI handling basic customer questions, leaving humans for the complex, emotional stuff. AI drafts the report, human refines it, adds the crucial context and judgment.
So the pattern is AI handles scale and repetition, and humans handle interpretation, strategy, and the uniquely human bits.
That's the core idea.
Yeah.
It really reframes the human role. It's not about becoming less important. It's about our value shifting.
Yeah, absolutely. The sources talk about the AI-augmented worker, not just using AI tools, but actively partnering with them.
Exactly. Partnering to achieve way more than you could alone. Josh Bersin calls them super workers. People who leverage AI to massively scale their efficiency and strategic impact.
Super workers. I like that.
It's about combining AI's analysis with human intuition, judgment, skills AI just doesn't have.
Which means job roles themselves have to evolve, right? A financial analyst becomes
An AI-augmented financial strategist, maybe. A designer might become more of an AI supervisor, guiding generative tools. Writers become expert prompt engineers.
Right. Prompt engineering is huge now.
And entirely new roles are popping up. AI trainers, AI ethicists, prompt engineers, AI auditors, specialized data scientists. It's like a reprofessionalization is happening. Roles getting more specialized, needing both tech understanding and those elevated human skills.
So the story isn't AI versus humans.
No, not at all. It's AI plus humans working together. That's the narrative.
A collaboration.
The future workplace is collaborative. AI handles the data, the repetition. Humans focus on complex problem-solving, creativity, EQ, strategy.
And studies back this up, that human AI teams are better.
Yeah, like one from MIT. They found human AI teams often outperform either humans or AI alone, especially when tasks need both data crunching and that nuanced human context or creativity.
So AI might be better at spotting fake reviews, but for writing a compelling story.
You need the human touch. But achieving this synergy, it's not just about buying software, is it?
No, it sounds like it requires fundamentally rethinking how work actually gets done, not just layering AI on top of old processes.
Exactly. Organizations need to reinvent how they operate around AI. The sources even suggest a company's collaboration quotient, how well it fosters human AI teamwork through its culture and work design, will be a major competitive edge.
The tables and the sources give good examples here too, like healthcare. AI analyzes scans, but the doctor diagnoses and provides care.
Right. Or legal. AI reviews documents super fast, but the human lawyer builds the case strategy, negotiates, argues in court.
Creative content. AI helps brainstorm or draft. Human directs the vision, tells the story.
HR AI handles admin and initial screening. The human focuses on talent, strategy, culture, complex employee issues.
This really highlights how AI can maybe unleash human potential by taking away the mundane.
That's the hope. Freeing up our time and mental energy for those higher order skills AI can't replicate. Creativity, critical thinking, strategic planning, EQ, leadership, the good stuff.
Research even shows it frees minds from process-oriented repetition for innovation.
Yeah, exactly. And generative AI is proving to be a really powerful creative partner too, helping brainstorm, generate ideas, provide drafts.
So creative teams get a productivity boost.
Significant boosts, according to some reports, because AI handles a lot of the labor-intensive production stuff. The human refines, contextualizes, adds the story, the judgment.
And this shift towards more meaningful work that could actually improve job satisfaction, well-being.
That's the anticipation. Offloading the boring tasks is linked in some studies to better positive emotions, psychological well-being. Less drudgery might mean better work-life balance, less stress.
Which leads back to what the sources call the humanity premium.
Right. Skills like empathy, complex communication, ethical judgment, real creativity, they're likely to become even more valuable.
Okay, so beyond tasks and roles, the sources also suggest the AI-augmented workplace gets personalized. Work actually molds to the individual.
Yeah, that's a fascinating thread. AI tailoring tasks, workflows, even learning paths based on your specific skills, your workload, your preferences.
Like a personal productivity assistant.
Exactly. Suggesting workflow improvements just for you. Or onboarding that adapts based on your experience and learning style, helping everyone operate at their personal best.
And it customizes how we get information, too.
These orchestration systems, ensuring you get the right info, right time, right channel, based on your role, location, behavior, language, cutting through the noise.
That sounds useful. Information overload is real.
Totally. Employees in the sources actually anticipate AI, making it much easier to find what they need. And the AI itself could tailor the interface, how you interact with tools.
How so?
Future agents might understand natural conversation, adapt their style to yours, maybe even adjust info based on your, emotional state. It points towards a really hyper-personalized digital workspace.
Okay, but hyper-personalization. And that immediately raises flags, right? Data privacy, algorithmic bias.
Huge flags, absolute critical points to navigate. And alongside personalization, the environments themselves become dynamic, adaptive user interfaces, AUIs.
AUIs.
Yeah, interfaces that adjust automatically based on your preferences, your device, your context, meaning software reformatting for different screens, accessibility themes changing, menus simplifying based on how you use them.
And workflows adapt too, not just personalized, but dynamic.
Right. Agentic workflows that learn and adapt to changing situations in real time. AI systems that improve organically based on outcomes, automating handoffs between different process stages or teams.
So it's like an adaptive workplace ecosystem, the whole environment molding itself around the employee.
That's the vision. Huge potential for experience and productivity. But, it needs really sophisticated AI and very well-managed data infrastructure.
And a key part of this personalized setup is continuous growth. Learning built into the workflow.
Yeah, AI tailoring, training content, delivery, pace, all based on your individual needs, skill gaps, interests, career goals for your role.
Like personalized learning platforms.
Exactly. AI-powered learning experience platforms, recommending resources, adaptive learning paths, adjusting difficulty based on your performance. You're always challenged, but hopefully not overwhelmed.
So it's learning in the flow of work, not just separate training days.
Right. Moving away from episodic training. Think bite-sized modules, AI coaching prompts popping up during your day, smart notifications for just-in-time learning right when you need it. It could dramatically speed up learning cycles. But, and there's often a but with personalization.
Yeah. What's the catch here?
Well, if AI is constantly tailoring everything based on what it thinks you need or what fits your profile, how do we make sure we don't get stuck in an algorithmic bubble?
Like a filter bubble, but for work skills.
Kind of. How do you ensure you still get exposed to new challenges, different perspectives you wouldn't have looked for, those random learning moments? How do we avoid hitting an algorithmic ceiling on our growth? Because the system only feeds us what it predicts we can handle or like.
That's a really important point. Designing for exploration, not just efficiency. Okay, let's pull this together. The big opportunities, the must-dos, and the challenges.
Okay.
On the upside, the potential gains are just massive. Productivity, efficiency, huge boosts. McKinsey estimates $4.4 trillion globally just from generative AI.
Trillion. Wow.
Yeah. And the sources cite examples. Programmers doing 126% more projects, creative teams 40% more productive, AI freeing up maybe 240 hours per employee per year from repetitive tasks. Some estimates even suggest tripling productivity in certain areas.
And it fuels innovation, too.
Acts as a powerful catalyst, augmenting intelligence, freeing up time.
Gotcha.
It unlocks creativity, problem solving, faster insights, faster experimentation, especially with Gen AI.
And maybe, just maybe, better work-life balance. That's the tantalizing possibility. Automating tasks, optimizing schedules could genuinely give time back. AI scheduling, helping protect focus time, prevent burnout. Some companies are already eyeing 4-day weeks because of AI gains.
But as you said, this AI dividend, it's not automatic.
Not at all. Depends heavily on intentional investment, smart work redesign, and really tackling the ethical stuff head on.
Which brings us right to the new skills imperative. As AI does more, the human skills it can't do become way more valuable. The skills paradox of automation.
Exactly. So what skills are crucial? Well, AI literacy and fluency are foundational. Understanding capabilities and limitations, and prompt engineering.
Crafting good prompts is key.
It's becoming maybe more critical than years of traditional experience for some roles.
And critical thinking.
Absolutely indispensable. Evaluating AI output. Is it accurate? Is it biased? Is it hallucinating? Questioning its assumptions. making reasoned judgments using the AI's input plus your own expertise.
Yeah.
Human oversight is non-negotiable.
Emotional intelligence, EQ, also comes up a lot.
Paramount. Empathy, self-awareness, relationship management, nuanced communication. AI doesn't have intuition or emotions. That human touch is vital for collaboration, leadership, customer connection.
And adaptability, continuous learning.
Vital. Given the crazy pace of change, it's not just lifelong learning anymore, it's continuous cycles. Learning, unlearning old ways, relearning new skills constantly.
What else? Problem solving, communication.
Complex problem solving, yes. Effective human communication, collaboration skills, ethical awareness in using AI, leadership, strategic thinking. Areas where AI helps but doesn't replace. The WEF's new skills triad even includes virtual intelligence proficiency.
Okay. Their Table 3 summarizes some key ones. Prompt engineering, critical evaluation of AI, empathy, continuous learning, AI ethics.
Those capture the essence well.
Now, employee well-being. This sounds like a double-edged sword.
It really does.
Yeah.
AI can definitely introduce stress, fears about jobs, surveillance worries, de-skilling concerns, the impact of bias.
But it can also offer support.
Potentially, yes. AI, mental health chatbots for accessible support. Personalized wellness recommendations, fitness, mindfulness, AI scheduling, protecting focus time, maybe preventing burnout, sentiment analysis, monitoring morale, even AR for safety training.
But there's this human connection imperative, too.
A really significant point. As AI handles more transactions, the need for genuine human connection, empathy, strong team bonds actually intensifies.
That's a paradox.
It is. AI can't provide interaction, but it can't replace the depth of human connection needed for well-being, trust, effective teams. Some data suggests employees crave this more with AI, but maybe managers are slower to realize its growing importance.
And finally, we absolutely have to talk ethics and governance.
Non-negotiable. Data privacy is huge. AI needs tons of data, often sensitive employee and company info, big risks with third-party tools, shadow IT.
And bias, algorithmic bias.
Critical. If AI learns from biased historical data, it can perpetuate or even amplify bias in hiring, promotions, evaluations. That erodes trust, creates unfairness.
Transparency and accountability are tough too, right? The black box problem.
Exactly. Makes AI decisions hard to understand or explain. Who's responsible when an AI makes a mistake? Trust really depends on these systems being seen as transparent, fair, and secure.
So organizations need a proactive approach. Policies, guidelines.
Definitely. Clear policies, strong ethical guidelines, robust risk management assessment, monitoring, training employees on responsible AI use, building ethics into the design of these systems from the start.
And what about work-life reconfiguration? Shorter weeks, maybe?
The potential is there from AI gains, but the flip side is that the flexibility AI enables remote work, etc., can also blur boundaries, create an always-on pressure.
Right.
Managing that needs new norms, maybe new cultures, definitely individual discipline, maybe a bigger shift from fixed hours to purely outcome-based work, which has its own pros and cons for work-life integration.
So wrapping this deep dive up, it's incredibly clear the AI-augmented workday isn't sci-fi anymore. It's here, it's unfolding now, and it's rapidly changing how we work.
Absolutely, and it promises amazing opportunities.
Yeah.
Boosting productivity, fueling innovation, maybe even making work more fulfilling by, taking the drudgery away.
But realizing that promise, it's not a given. It really depends on embracing that human-AI partnership.
Committing to continuous learning and adapting, deploying these tools ethically responsible.
And crucially, intentionally designing work processes and cultures that actually value human well-being right alongside AI efficiency.
So as AI gets more integrated into your professional life, maybe take a moment. Think about your own skills. Which of those uniquely human strengths can you lean into, develop further?
Yeah, what does this shift mean for your role? How can you start practicing that partnership with AI, like today?
And building on that earlier point about personalization, the sources really push this idea of AI tailoring your work and learning just for you, delivering what you need when you need it.
Right.
But as these systems get better and better at predicting and delivering exactly what fits your current profile, how do we ensure we don't accidentally limit our own exposure? Exposure to novel ideas, different challenges, perspectives that fall outside the algorithm's neat little path.
How do we prevent that potential algorithmic ceiling on our growth? That's a really provocative thought, something to definitely keep considering as we all navigate and hopefully help shape this augmented future of work.